another segment of Love Glitter Girl Cooks, and today we are making Valentine's Day treats. But before we get started, as usual, I want to share a few saving tips with you. So my friend Suzanne has been telling me about the Walmart grocery pickup, and I have resisted for quite some time, but I decided to try it yesterday. It was dumping snow here in Denver. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna give this a try because it's free. You don't have to pay for it. So I quickly got online and I started comparing some of the prices. I didn't find any deals on Ibotta for the items. So I wanted to make sure that the prices were better than the grocery store. So I did a quick check. These Ghirardelli chocolate chips were on sale for like $2.60, and that is a major bargain. I think the same size bag was closer to $4 at the grocery store, as well as some of the other ones that we're going to use. These cute little gift bags were 98 cents. They're 15 in them. We are going to be packaging our treats to give away, as well as Valentine's Day sprinkles, $4.97. Double stuffed Oreos. So I checked the prices. I'm going to venture to guess that I saved around $10 doing this, and I am going to tell you it was the easiest thing that I've ever done. I literally clicked my list, sent it off, picked a time to pick up. They texted me. I let them know I was on my way, pulled in. I was not waiting there more than 2 minutes before this lovely woman, Brenda, brought my groceries out. I am so impressed. Okay, the first thing we are going to do is we are adapting a recipe for peppermint bark that we typically make at Christmas time. We are going to make Valentine's Day bark. This is our first time doing it, but basically you have semi-sweet chocolate chips, white chocolate chips, and then we have a bunch of candies. But to melt the chocolate, oops, Sparkle Jones is all worked up right now. There must be something outside. I was going to pour half a bag of the chocolate chips, the semi-sweet, into a bowl and add 1 teaspoon of cooking oil, and then we are going to, in the microwave, do 15 to 30 second intervals until the chocolate is melted. So we've got the chocolate chips melting in the microwave. After looking at half a bag, we think we need to add the whole bag. So we are going to stop it and stir it a little bit. You don't want to burn your chocolate, so you got to make sure to stir it at intervals and see how it's going. It's getting melted, but we are going to add the rest of the bag, and I think we're going to do 1 more teaspoon of oil. The oil kind of helps with the consistency, so if you're doing a whole bag, you could just do a tablespoon of oil. So Eva's going to go ahead and put that in the microwave, and I'm going to explain to you what we're going to do next. We are going to layer the chocolate. Okay, go ahead and spread your milk chocolate on a 13 by 9 wax paper lined dish. And then you can put that in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes to let it harden, or you can set it out on the counter. Okay, y'all, we are back. We are making truffles, as we noted before. We are adapting a recipe by our favorite chef, Ina Garten, and
Barefoot Contessa.
Yes, dark chocolate truffles. We are using a half a pound of Ghirardelli dark chocolate, as well as the Ghirardelli semi-sweet chocolate. Eva has broken it and is in the process of breaking it into small pieces. And we have heated up a cup of heavy cream. Oh my gosh, another artery clogger. Eva, put those in, honey. We're going to try to mix this up quickly.
They're not broken up into small pieces.
We're good. We're going to, we are going to mix this up. You want to get the cream just to the point of boiling. So Eva is mixing the chocolate until it melts. We are also going to add a little bit of coffee. If you have watched Ina, you know that she loves to use coffee. It does bring out the flavor of the chocolate. I've experimented a bunch of times, and she is in fact right. So I'm going to add a little coffee. I'm going to actually put in 2 teaspoons.
This is really hot.
And then we are going to add some vanilla, which also brings in the flavor of the coffee. Eva, go get a bigger spoon, honey. This spoon is not quite big enough. If it isn't completely melted, we're just going to stick it in the microwave for a few minutes, and that should kind of bring it out. But we're going to add a little vanilla first. I'm going to put in a teaspoon of vanilla to bring out the flavor. I do buy my vanilla at Costco. They have really good vanilla. And it also brings out the flavor of the chocolate.
It smells so good.
Okay, how's it
But
going?
it tastes so bad.
It's not, is it not melting? So we are going to stick it in the microwave for just 30, not even 30. I think we'll put it in here for about 20 seconds. Heat it up a little bit. See if that can melt the chocolate. You can use other chocolate, but I have found the Ghirardelli chocolate is very good chocolate. But whatever your favorite chocolate is, use. The secret to this is a dark chocolate truffle, so you do want to use that bittersweet or really dark chocolate. Okay, so I'm gonna mix this up a little bit, see if it got a little bit creamier. It did. We're gonna keep mixing, and then what we're gonna do is we are going to put this into the refrigerator and let it harden, because what we're going to do next is we're going to form the mixture into little balls, and then we are going to cover them with Valentine's Day goodies. Okay, so now we are back with our third treat, chocolate covered Oreo Pops. I have been putting on little cake pop sticks. We bought double stuffed Oreos. I have tried this with regular stuffed Oreos, and it did not work. So the way
there's not enough filling for the stick.
Right, there's not enough filling. So what you do, you have to be very careful because we've already broken one. Hold it gently. Find kind of the thickest part of the cream filling. Push it in with just gentle pressure to keep the Oreo sides together, and then put them on a parchment paper lined pan, and you don't want them too crowded because we are going to dip them in chocolate, and then we are going to sprinkle them with Valentine sprinkles. So Eva is doing the same thing with chocolate that we've done for the other two steps. She is melting it with 2 teaspoons of vegetable oil. We are using Ghirardelli milk chocolate chips this time to really turn up the sugar. And then we are going to sprinkle it over the pan we used for the cream, just so we can save dishes, because I don't know, I watch these cooking shows and I do not know how they minimize their dishes. They probably have a whole staff cleaning up, but since it's just Eva and I, we are going to minimize, so we're not going to do anything fancy.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. So the chocolate is completely melted, so we are going to try this. This is not a recipe. This is something that Eva and I are doing. Eva, bring the chocolate over here. So we are going to dip the chocolate halfway, the Oreo cookie halfway, and we are going to just sprinkles on both sides of it, and the pan will catch the sprinkles, and then we are going to put it down on our parchment paper and let it cool. All right, our chocolate was hardened for the bark. We have melted the white chocolate. I am going to pour it on top of the other chocolate, leaving about a ½ inch on each edge for the darker chocolate to peek through. We're going to do a third with just regular Valentine's Day color M&Ms. Then we're going to do a third with these caramel Valentine's M&Ms. And these Reese's are a little bit big, but we're going to try it, doing a third with the Reese's peanut butter and the Valentine's Day M&Ms. And it's starting to look really pretty. I am going to press down just a little bit on the candies so that they set in the chocolate and don't fall off with my fingers and Eva's. helping me out here. And do a little bit around the edges. Okay, y'all, this is where Eva and I went wrong with the recipe. We let the white chocolate candy-coated bark set in the refrigerator and we immediately tried to cut it. What happened was the white chocolate separated from the dark chocolate and we were left with white chocolate bark, which was fine because it tasted amazing still. But what you need to do, you can either let it set in the refrigerator and then bring it out and bring it to room temperature, or just set it in the counter until it hardens. At that point, you can cut it and break it into pieces. Otherwise, if you have it cold, the two chocolates won't fuse together and set correctly. Okay, we have gotten the truffle batter out. It's soft, but not too soft. We are rolling it in both cocoa powder as well as little Valentine's Day sprinkles. You basically make a small ball. You don't want to make a very big ball because these are really rich. Probably the size of like smaller than a walnut for sure. Eva's hands are really warm, so you do have to be careful because it does start melting. And what I find is if you put it in the freezer, while you're doing it, and harden it back up, it works just fine. It's the same thing when we do this at Christmas. We have to put it in the freezer in between, but you just keep doing it until you've used up all the batter, and then we will put it back into the freezer for a little bit so it hardens with the cocoa powder. Eva's are getting really melty, so we're gonna put it back in the freezer for a few minutes. Okay, we've gotten the little Oreo Pops out of the refrigerator and we are starting to package them. So what we found is these little bags, we are folding them a third in. And then we are putting the little Oreo in and tying with a little ribbon. I have tons of ribbon in the house. Every time I go to the dollar store or Walmart, for example, and I see a cute ribbon that is like $1, I buy it. So we've basically gotten a bunch of scraps of ribbon that we have. But here is the little pop. You could do little clear cello bags as well that would kind of show the design. I also got at TJ Maxx these adorable little tags. They're little Valentine tags. They're ice creams. And Eva is going to fill these out for her friends. And we are going to attach them. They're in the same little pretty colors. We'll probably punch a hole in it and put it on the thread, and that will be the finished product. And we'll show you that when we have it finished.
Okay, so this is the finished product, and these are the Oreo Pops for my friends, and they're just packaged up like that. And then we have the things that we're giving to families. So this is the Valentine's bark and the truffles. They're packaged up in these little bags, and yeah.
And so the lesson we learned today is that sometimes you have to make lemonade out of lemons. When our chocolate separated in the bark, we just adapted and did white chocolate bark instead of the milk chocolate, although there are some pieces that do have both. But they both taste amazing just the way they are. So thank you so much for joining us for Love Glitter Girl Cooks, and we'll see you soon.